welcome to Picksburgh and YouTube Doers. With me is my co-host, Tommy, the Bargain Effect. Today we have Nate.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you guys for us this introducing. You want to tell us the channel? What you do?
You're breaking up real bad, Anthony.
Yeah, I couldn't understand what you said.
Tommy, can you? Oh,
He went to Mr. Robotic mode.
Well, I think he basically.
you guys
wants
hear
you to
me any better now?
Oh, yeah, you sound better there. But not anymore. I think he basically wants you to let people
How much
know
would
what
I
to do.
upload?
Oh, he wants me to just do like an intro.
Yeah, I think
so.
Hey, everybody, it's Nate. Every day I'm hustling. I do
Tell
Amazon
people
and eBay and Facebook
what you do.
Marketplace. And I work full time, and hopefully one day I'll be full time.
looks like we're having some technical difficulties here with Anthony. His videos real choppy. We'll try to bear through it. Maybe he can get it straightened out.
You guys,
You're still real bad, Anthony. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
It was weird. We're in the pre-live, and it was fine, running great. And then as soon as you click the button, it died off.
Hey, no, you're in here twice.
yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Can you hear me now?
Twice the fun.
Yeah, you're way better now.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I just completely left and came back. So I apologize about that, guys. It wouldn't be a show with me and Tommy unless something crazy happened, right?
Tell you gotta keep it interesting.
So I appreciate everyone being here. Just go ahead and greet everyone. We got Kelly, the Ecom Mom Ward, playing Uber Family this morning. Glad you're here. Playing that Craig role. You might have to give him a little taste of that for the Uber Family. Eric Bischoff is in here.
Craig says he owns the rights to the Uber Family.
There we go. Yep, I see Craig now. What's up, Craig? Good to see you, buddy. Matt, BK Vending and Flipping is here. Lisa C. Good morning, Lisa. Sand Dollar. Good to see you, man. I appreciate everyone who is here currently. I had a little bit of a mix-up today with the scheduling of the show. I keep forgetting to make it Eastern time because I guess YouTube defaults to Pacific time, whatever's in California. So hopefully we'll have some people jumping in because I'm guessing my reminder probably wasn't scheduled to come out till like 3 hours after the show was over. So appreciate everyone who has jumped in so far. Today our topic is just how do you drive business? How do you drive business to your eBay store, to your Amazon account? For example, Tommy's doing his t-shirt business, his merch business. How is he driving business to that? And I just think this would be a good topic for each of us to kind of discuss. A lot of good chat too would be great, just so we can kind of pick up some tips from you guys, because I can't speak for the rest of the panel, but I've learned a ton just doing live shows, just with stuff that people put in the chat. So, and that's really the name of the game. We want to drive as much business over these next 3 months as we can, being that it's Q4, because this is like Super Bowl time for us guys. Like we need to hit it hard with Christmas coming up. So, Nate, what do you typically do to drive business, man?
Basically, you know, I always run promotions and sales, and depending on, you know, if it's a seasonal type clothing or something like that. Like for example, like right now, like all my summer stuff, I'm gonna hit with a super deep, you know, steep discount to hope to move some product, and you know, so it's just not sitting for another 6 months or whatever, and stuff like that. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm starting to add more and more items into the simple export, because I've seen a lot of well, not a lot, but I've seen, you know, a few sales a week now from that, where maybe I wouldn't be as competitive with global shipping and stuff like that. So I mean, so far that's the only two things I've seen that you know, I've tried so far to add more, you know, sales or do anything like that for my business.
Yeah, I've noticed. I'd be curious to know what percentage of eBay sellers are now offering the simple export. What I've noticed doing high volume or really starting to add that to their business. Like I've seen Lonnie do it. I've seen Justin do it. I know you do it, Nate. I've incorporated it, but I still do a little bit of the global shipping. Just depends on the customer, to be honest with you. Like if they're a little bit shaky, I like to do the global shipping just so I'm covered. I can say, hey, hit up eBay, they'll take care of you. But
Right.
for the most part, if I see that they're a decent customer, I typically will offer the simple export when they ask for it.
Yeah, like for me, I don't do it, you know, worldwide. I do it, you know, Canada, Europe, UK, France, Australia, and I think there's one more. But I don't do Brazil or Mexico or Asia, Japan, and China. I don't do those ones. The only thing that I will
Okay.
do is, you know, there's a box underneath. They'll say, you know, ask for shipping rates or whatever. So on those
Yeah.
countries, I'll do the same thing you're talking about. I'll see, you know, basically what their feedback is, or, you know, if they're a new buyer or whatever, and then I'm able to give them a quote on that. So this way, I think it helps, you know, people in that country might still be able to see some of my stuff or whatever, you know, because I'm offering possibly to ship out that way versus, you know, just saying, you know, not at all. And then also I'm doing the global shipping program on all the items as well. So I'm offering both.
Yeah.
So, you know, if by chance they want global shipping versus not wanting the simple export, then, or maybe I don't cover that area with simple export, you know, I'm still doing the global shipping as well.
I want to say
I gotta learn more
Tracy,
about that.
also just me, Kathy jumped in, and Justin Jacobs. Good morning to all of you guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Tracy was burning that midnight oil last night. Doing that working hangout, grinding, drawing up, driving business that way. So I like to see that. That gets me motivated whenever I see people, you know, really grinding, especially this time of year. I was half tempted. Like I saw her doing that late night working hangout last night. I was tempted to like get out of bed and start working, but I was like dead tired, man. I didn't sleep much the night before, so I was out.
What time was
Tommy,
that?
what kind of stuff do you typically do to drive business? She was up till late, man.
I must have had YouTube closed or didn't see any notifications because I was up for a little bit.
Yeah.
I myself to drive, you know, I do a lot of sharing on like social media of my stuff in my store on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook and whatever on my business page. And then I hand out business cards too a lot. You know, and I've gained a lot just from handing out cards. Any reason I can think of, you know, I don't just walk up to people and be like, oh, here's a card, but anytime I can weasel it into a conversation, I've gained quite a few sales out of my stores just from that alone. And I know they come from the card because I give them an additional 5%. And it's the only place that I do an additional 5% discount. So when that's applied, then I know that came from a business card referral.
That's a good idea. That's something I've been looking to add to, because anytime you're dealing with anybody, where you're going out, say on Facebook Marketplace, or you're meeting someone at a Goodwill, and you just happen to have a conversation to possibly buy something, or you drop you have a decent conversation. You hand those cards out, like you said, that could funnel some sales and stuff like that, where that might even be, you could do like a pickup situation for some items or whatever for local, like if someone in your area and you just meet somebody or whatever. So that definitely would be great.
And
Would
and
you
on
be
items,
able to share kind of how you do that?
how I what?
I was just asking if you'd be able to share how you do that, because can you share how you do that 5% discount on your card? Because I've been really wanting, I have cards for my eBay business, but now that I'm an LLC, I want to get official cards made. I was thinking about doing something kind of like Justin and Lonnie and them do with their business cards they drop in stuff. So I was thinking even to drive repeat customers, you know what I mean? When I drop the little card in there, maybe it'll say, hey, thanks for your business. Here's an extra 5% off your next order. How do you actually give them the 5% discount with your card?
You would go into where you do your promotions, where you run your sales or whatever, and you can do a sale with a coupon code. It's just an option. Let me see if I can bring it up and share it here.
Yeah, it should be right. Should be right there. Yeah.
Yeah, codeless coupon. You just go. I couldn't remember what it was called, but you just create the promotion. You create a codeless coupon, and you can have it run be good for however long. I usually run them for a 60-day period because I just don't want this code getting handed out and everybody getting the discount if it would leak.
Yeah.
Right.
But and then I just print the code. I usually do it for 60 days, and I print my own cards so I can kind of run them on alternate 60-day cycles. Like I'll start one every 30 days. So I just print the cards out as I need them. That way I don't have like wasted cards with bad codes on them. You can also do the same thing and apply that code to, like, I don't know if you guys send invoices or packing slips with your stuff, but you can put it on there too. I used to do that. I don't do it so much anymore, but I have gained some sales of return customers by just putting a coupon code on there and saying, next time you shop with us, save 5% or 10% or whatever you feel you want to do to bring them back. And then it's right in your right where you create your sales.
Is it possible to get one that doesn't end? Is it possible to make one that doesn't end?
Yeah, I believe you can run them indefinitely. I just don't personally like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look here.
Well, I would just like to have one that way. If I had it on card, I wouldn't have to worry about it expiring. I could drop that in all my orders, and I could hand that out to people.
You probably have to give it an end date, but you can probably make it like 20 years or something.
You have to give an end date, but like here, the end date can be in 2029.
Yeah. I was going to say you probably go pretty far out.
Just asking, how much do you charge for business cards? Like if you were to create them?
To be honest, when it comes to business cards, I mean, it's efficient for me and cost effective for me to print them myself. But really, by the time, if I was to print them for somebody and with the shipping and everything, you'd be better off going through Vistaprint, to be 100% honest. It would be cheaper for you.
Because I was actually planning to place an order for Vistaprint, so it's just nice knowing that. And I like that with you as a businessman, like where you're straight up be like, hey, this would be cheaper for you to go to Vistaprint. You know what I mean? Rather than trying to get the business for yourself, you're going to save the customer a buck. I think that's awesome.
When it comes to like business cards, I could beat their price, but then I'd just be beating their price to beat their price. There's not, I would be making nothing on my time or even the supplies. It'd be like a break even. And
For sure.
and Vistaprint's decent. I mean, they got nice quality stuff.
They do, yeah. Yeah,
Sometimes
I think I'll
even
probably place an order with them
Staples.
later. Once I figure out
Sometimes even
this coupon.
sometimes even Staples and stuff does like really good promotions and stuff for small business and stuff like that as well. They have a print center right, inside their locations and stuff like that. I used to work at a Staples in their as a salesman or whatever for their tech side, and sometimes they would do like 50% off their business cards, and they would be actually be a little bit cheaper than Vistaprint. So just keep an eye out for their promotion and stuff if you're doing RA or you go in there for any of your business supplies.
Yeah. Good morning, D. DC Sales says that Amazon has coupon codes now too. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Craig said in here, is there any negatives to the code getting out? And that hopefully 5% wouldn't make or break you. It's not that the 5% is going to make or break you, but say you're running a clearance sale and you're running a 30% sale, and now that 30 turns into 35% for a ton of people. You'd feel it, especially on bigger, expensive items.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll run, like I just was talking about on my summer clothes and stuff. I'll run a deep discount or a bigger promotion, maybe where I'm a little closer to not where I want to really be, but I just want to push some merchandise out, or I need some cash flow or whatever. So, depending on what the item is, because if you sell something that's $200 or $100, like sometimes I'll do or whatever on my site or whatever. It's $10, $15.
Right.
Eat up some profits for sure. But from the majority of people, they probably in the say 15 to 40 range for most of the stuff, where it's maybe $1 or something, a couple bucks.
Right.
Yeah. I get to the point with some items, like I'll run such a discount on it that I'm clearly trying to recoup my money, maybe like a couple bucks.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, with you putting an expiration on the code, it kind of puts a time limit. So it's kind of like running a sale in the countdown clock. They want to spend it before they lose it.
Right. Yeah. That because if you think about it, if someone's going to make a return purchase, they're going to make it probably within the next 3 months or so, for example, versus if they haven't made it in a year, are they going to still have that card? Are they going to remember your code?
Right.
There's so much stuff out there that we all have to remember and different things. And, that would be one thing that, I would, like you said, I'd want someone to come back relatively quick if they are going to use it. And here's an extra 5% because you did, come back, and I appreciate it and stuff like that.
And for sure.
And then we do things like this
just
too,
like
to
Kathy
drive
says, creates urgency.
Right.
We do things like this as well. Hold on, let me get my coffee lips off here. But we finally mastered these last night, and we're going to be handing out stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Got our coffee cups mastered. So,
and you can print them in color. That's nice.
Yep. And that was the tricky part. I mean,
I know Destiny was saying. Destiny was saying that you guys were only printing them in black and white for the beginning, so that's cool to see you got color now.
That's what we could guarantee quality on, was the black and white. The color was a bit more trickier. It took a little bit more to figure out proper materials and inks and procedure. But now we got that down. So now we can do full color. We could put
That's
your
awesome.
picture on it if you wanted.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in the mugs and stuff. I told my wife that she got one of those spinners for her epoxy glitter cups and stuff. I said if you would make some, I'll throw them on my eBay. Make one or just make a couple. And you can make like 12 different varieties throughout the year, and I'll put them up. And there's a lot of RI and that type of stuff. So I was like, I would love to have those on there. So she's going to start doing that to
That's cool.
get a little extra, items in the store, and I'll let her, take the money that she makes off it and buy something for the kids or whatever, because that's something she did herself or whatever. So I would love for her to start coming along a little more in my business and coming up with some different ideas and stuff that totally would be her and her ideas, and let her enjoy it and do some stuff with the kids extra with it.
Absolutely. And that's how I look at it. That's why we decided to go into this whole printing venture, because it's something, Desi's not a reseller. She's not into it. She just doesn't have the passion for it. She goes sourcing and stuff with me, but I would say she's 50% looking at stuff to resell and 50% looking at, ooh, I really like this personal buys,
Right. Like whenever good.
But she likes being crafty and whatever, and it's like, okay, well, what can we do to be crafty, but yet try to add a little bit more income to the house, and something like you said that the kids can get involved in.
Right.
They're really into the reselling. They love sourcing and stuff like that, but they're too young yet to get into like actually listing and knowing why you got to do this and you can't make this mistake. That could be pretty damaging. Jasmine wanted to learn shipping really bad, and I was like, oh, okay, well, might as well give it a try, and set her up. And she felt so bad because she does help me ship now, but her first time she ended up swapping two pieces. She did everything perfect, but she put the label on the wrong pack. And they went out to the wrong people. What was really cool is both people were awesome and understanding when I explained what happened, and it was straightened out without any eBay involvement or whatsoever.
That's good.
So that was cool. But the kids can be artistic and imaginable, and so they're super excited about that.
Yeah, like whenever I go RA shopping and stuff like that, or go to the Goodwills and stuff. First my wife would basically personal shop. So then when I started doing Amazon, I showed her how to scan. And Anthony could vouch for this. She's all scanning stuff, running around like, look what I found. Like it's a great feeling to have her find stuff. Like I was telling him, she'll see stuff that I won't even think about thinking there's a great scan or an item, because I don't have that woman intel of stuff they use, or this is a great product, or whatever. So now I see her really getting into it. She got some great stuff at the bins, and she found some RA stuff, and I love, like, that's the most important thing to me, is like, how can I get everyone involved with what I do? Because then it's not like me just kind of doing my thing and they're following me around the stores, and it's not a fun experience. Like once my kids get older, like my son and stuff like that, he'll bring me toys and be like, Dad, scan this, and I'll scan it. But he just does it from he likes it perspective. So it kind of helps me with with fourth quarter sometimes, because it's stuff that maybe I'll not look at, or maybe I'm walking or scanning and running past too fast. So it's I just want that family experience when I'm doing stuff, because my time is so limited. And if everyone can enjoy it and do it together and help out or whatever, and then I can teach them this business, and then it's an amazing thing, like how big you can get with just a small unit of your family helping and doing things. Like I wish I could do the printing thing that you're doing, Tommy.
Yeah.
I think that's a great business thing, especially with you doing YouTube and knowing so many different businesses like you do because you're on YouTube and you're dealing with all of us. I mean, I think it's a phenomenal situation for yourself, and the sky's the limit for you, and I hope the best of luck for you. I'm excited to see what you come up with, and me and Anthony for our auctions we won.
Yeah, she's actually putting those together today, this morning. She was working on them while she was on there with Darlene.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to it, man. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
Because I was actually going to have
I definitely see that as
so I was happy to see that you did that or whatever, and plus it gives me an idea of like some stuff that I might want in the future as well. It's almost like a test buy, in other words, for the most part. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you see the quality. Not that I would think that you would sell anything that would be bad. I'm just, you know what I mean, like what the price points and stuff, and I would have it in my hand, and I'm like, okay, I could sell this for this, or do this,
Right. See, and that's what's taking the time with us, because we're new into it, so we're really putting our stuff through a quality control test, and that takes time, because you gotta wash the clothing. I want to wash them at least 10 times to see the amount of wear or fade or anything like that, because I'd hate to send somebody out a shirt, man, and they all like it and they put it on, and then 4 or 5 washes later it's cracking and peeling, and I don't want to put that quality out.
Right, exactly. I understand.
And that was like, we were having problems with the color mugs, is what the material we were using before was kind of like flaking and whatever, so we had to find a better way to do it to make it more permanent onto the mug and more durable. So now we think we got it down. We have to go through we don't have a dishwasher to test for dishwasher safe, to see if it'll hold up to that. But this one, I mean, last night and this morning, I washed it and I actually scrubbed it with the green abrasive scrubby and everything, and it didn't even so much as scratch it.
I think more or less with the dishwashers, it's basically the water being so hot. You know what I mean? Like, if you think, I know my dishwasher, it's one of those newer ones, and it's like the power spray that's so good on them now, and it gets so hot, that the decals might like come off, or
Right. Well, this material here is supposed to be able to withstand up to 300 degrees.
Yeah, that's. I don't think they would get more, any hotter than that. You know what I mean? That's pretty good. You know what I mean? So it should definitely hold up for sure.
As of right now, have you primarily just used YouTube as an advertising stream for the business?
Yeah,
or have you gone through other avenues?
No, for the shirt part of it, yeah, it's just been basically just talking about it on YouTube, the startup of the adventure. We haven't even like struck YouTube out too much as far as like advertising to try to turn it into a money stream yet. Like I say, we want to make sure that we have our qualities up, and that's why we're gonna hand out some free products too, so people can put it through their daily wear. I mean, everybody treats their clothes different, and I want some people that are going to be nice and delicate and do all the things that you're supposed to do with a printed shirt, like wash it up inside out and not use high heat. But then I also want the people that are just going to ball it up and throw it in the wash machine and bake it in their dryer and see what happens. And I don't want to charge people to do that. I mean, if I send out some shirts and they turn out that they break down after 10, 15 washings, they're not going to be nearly as upset as if I charge them $14 for a shirt, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing it right for
And
sure.
what better way to actually what better way to advertise than to actually have people have the products in hand? You know what I mean? Like, I always thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was such a thing as like smell-o-vision? You know what I mean? So like when one of them food commercials come on, you can like smell it, it makes you want it. Like this is like all of your senses you get full hands-on with the products. You get to test them, you get to wear them, you get to rock them, you get to see the quality and everything. And that right there, like that would make me want to go and buy it personally. You're basically bringing that experience to the consumer. And I personally, I haven't seen any other company offer something like that
yet. I mean,
I'm curious though, have you guys come up with a separate name?
With what?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think
I was just asking if you guys come up with a separate name for printing.
No, I think we're still. I don't want to go through.
Am I still buffering?
You're getting a little.
Yeah.
I don't really think that we want to go through getting a whole bunch of, like, for all these different businesses, getting a bunch of different DBAs to have them, you know, legit or whatever. So I think we're probably going to stick with the bargain effect and just add like a design or printing by TBE, you know, instead of coming up with a whole different name. It'd be easier business wise right now.
I know one thing is like the Facebook Marketplace.
The bargain effect's a great name for any type of business.
What name did we come up with?
Am I breaking up really bad?
Sometimes you are. I'm trying to think of the name we came up with. We were going to take all the merch platforms and combined it into one name, because you have like Amazon merch and you have Cafe Press and you got Teespring, and I can't remember what we came up with, but it was one name that actually sounded pretty cool, just taking a piece of each one of those. And I was like, nah, it's kind of cheesy.
Right. I know one platform that you know, YouTube's a great platform for you, but I think Facebook Marketplace would be amazing for you. Do like a minimum like order of like say 5 shirts or something like that, like per design or something, or come up with your own designs and kind of, you know, do print on demand with that design, you know, for Christmas and New Year's and, you know, the different holidays and stuff like that. I mean, I think that would do really, really well for you in your area, because I don't think a lot of people are really, I mean, there might be a couple of people that might do it, but I think the variety of what you offer with the decals and the cups and, you know, the stuff like that, you know, that would be a huge, you know, you could put up like a package, like almost like how you did for your auction, you know, shirt, a cup and a decal, or maybe 2 cups, and, you know, you can add to it for X amount, and, you know, just do different things like that and really do well. And, you know, because I mean, like a lot of people are doing like the glitter cups and stuff. Like that's a pretty, it's a hard market to really separate yourself, and that's something that I think, you know, I told my wife, I said it's going to be a little bit harder to do something like that, because, you know, your designs are going to have to be amazing. Your cups are going to be really good. So, you know, we made sure that, you know, the stuff that we're going to do is going to be top notch. But, you know, for what you're doing basically a print business wide type thing. I mean, you can do everything.
Yeah.
Right. That's our goal. And, you know, we bought all the different equipments and the presses, you know, the shirt press, the hat press, the mug press. And, you know, if I was to do it all over again, I would probably start with just one and focus on that one until it was mastered, because what we were doing is trying to figure it all out at one time.
Right.
And getting frustrated because like none of it seemed to be working. You know, there was issues. We had shirts that bled. We had to figure out how to tone down how much ink is being laid out. the proper material that we're pressing the shirts with for colored prints. Vinyl's no big deal. The mugs we had a lot of issue with, and I wish we would have started with one piece, got that mastered, made some money on it, recouped that money, and then went to the next phase.
Yeah.
Because right now we have a lot of money just kind of out there,
Right.
you know? And then I want people to feel comfortable with our products. So, you know, like I say, I want to do a lot of handouts for people to do a product testing so they can actually vouch for it, you know. Or if there is problems with it, let me know so we can try to zone in and fix those. And so right now there's like a lot of money out there. There's going to be some more money that's going to be out there just in merchandise that we're going to give away. But I think in the long run, it'll come back. You know, I'm hoping it'll come back multifold. You know.
Yeah, I think at the beginning it might stunt your growth a little bit because, you know, you're not making profit right away, like you said. But in the grand scheme of things, I think you'll sell a lot more product because of all the different items that you can do right away. You know what I mean? Where, you know, if you just did say shirts, you know, you'd make some money on the shirts. And then as you're adding the next piece, say after you sold X amount of units, you know, you're able to keep adding. But at the same time, you know, that's what differentiates you from, you know, your average, you know, person that, you know, does something on the side or, you know, maybe does a little print setup or whatever. So I think the packages and what you offer is what's going to really set you apart and make you look like, you know, a real business, not someone just doing this, you know, for fun or, you know, make a couple extra bucks that, you know, on Facebook marketplace like we see, you know, from time to time.
And that's ultimately what we want to do is we'd like to sell. You know, you want a shirt, that's cool, but we want that upsale type thing. Well, do you want a shirt or you want a shirt and a matching hat? You know,
right?
Especially if you're putting your business on it. But now we can give you some coffee cups for your break room too, and well, you need some vinyl on your car to advertise your business when you're driving around. So, and then put a complete package. Obviously, if you buy a package, you're going to get it at a better rate than if you bought each piece individually.
Right, exactly. Because, you know, for example, if you bought just vinyl, you know, there's shipping involved. You know, you bought just a cup or shipping involved. It's not going to cost much more to throw a shirt in there or throw this in there. So, and then it's, you know, you're able to make that package more attractive because of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a great situation, man. I wish I would have. I had the money to do it and set it up. And like I said, I hope the best for you, man. And I'll be buying from you, that's for sure.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I think they're fine around something. Veronica Hest had a suggestion for you, Tommy, about keeping the name Bargain in anything you decide to do, just to kind of pull, you know, their attention and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do too. Is we want, you know, we're not going to be charging like for a shirt. We're not going to be like Teespring and merch and all of them charging whatever it is, $20-$25. You know, we want to make it affordable for people and give them a bargain, and that's why we also are going with we prefer to go with the grade A pre-owned clothing, because we can give people a higher quality clothing at a cheaper price than all these other companies.
Yep.
And when I say like grade A, when I say grade A, I mean like it looks like it's, you know, we can't sell it as brand new, but it looks like it's new without the tags on it. You know, your inner tags are going to be in good condition. There's going to be no pilling. There's going to be no stains, no seams letting loose. You know, basically, if I was to package it up and put a store tag on it, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference. That's the only quality that we're looking at when we retrieve clothing.
Absolutely.
And we can get a good deal. Like we just picked up full jumpsuits. They're two women's full dress jumpsuits. They don't even look like they're ever worn. It looks like they're hung up in a closet and never worn. But I have to call them pre-owned because we didn't go buy it from a retail store.
What is the
the
cost difference between like the used and the new? Or you guys haven't got that far?
Okay, I'll give you a prime example. We picked up a pre-owned shirt for Anthony, a 4XL. Okay, we paid I think $1 for it. Where if I go, and it's a nice quality shirt. It's a nice quality shirt. Versus if I was just to go and buy a 4X gilding T-shirt, brand new, that shirt is going to cost me $8. You know, just for the blank shirt. That's about the cheapest I can find them in 4 and 5X. It's like once you get above 3X, prices go crazy.
Oh yeah.
I get gilding T-shirts, you know, for like $2.50 a piece. Oh, here it is. Yeah, what brand is this? I can get gilding T-shirts in like small, medium, large. I can get those for about $2.50 a piece, or I can get you there's a Fruit of the Loom shirt. There's the black one that we picked up for Anthony. And I mean, it's flawless. If you look at the inner tagging and everything, it's all intact. It's not cracked. It's not peeling. But the gilding T-shirts, just the blank ones, are like $2.50. Or I can get you a nice quality, whatever. I can get you a Ralph Lauren polo for the same price.
Yeah. I think once you get into the stitching, I would love to get like a stitched polo shirt. I think that'd be awesome.
No, I mean I can show. Let me grab a bag of.
You mean like with like a patch with like your name on it, Anthony? Like Pittsburgh or?
Yeah, like the Picksburgh logo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cool. Tracy's asking a question of Tommy. I'll wait for him to come back. I want to say hi to Justin RBA Flips. And we had Old School Picker jump in. Just make sure I remember Chris, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember your name, man. And then Perline Linden.
All right, this is we got these in a deal over here. They're just regular tees, but they're an active dry fit.
Nice.
You know, and the shirt is flawless. And give you another. Here's a gilding long sleeve, and that's a gilding.
Yeah, gilding's good quality.
It must have been a shelf pull because they do. I mean, it'll be things like this. It has a Sharpie line through it. So I imagine it was some sort of inventory pull from somewhere. Then we can get stuff like this. It's actually got a Captain America thing on there.
That's cool.
Bought that as but this style, you know, and it's a marble shirt. So if somebody's in the Captain America and wanted a big shield put on the back or their name or something.
Yeah.
And this is really something cool. I think Destiny picked up. This is a J. Crew. So if a lady wanted something put on this, you know.
And I believe you were mentioning you're putting pictures of these clothing up on your website so people can actually go and select.
we don't have that up yet. We're gonna start. That's our plan for this weekend, is to get our business page up on Facebook and then start taking pictures and getting it up there on what's available in the pre-owned. Like these are jaggins here, or leggings, or whatever you call them. And I mean the tag is you know, they're like brand new. They look like a jean, but they're stretchy. Another style. You can print on all of this. I mean, there's just tons. We can offer so much more. We got pink shirts. We got hoodies. Long sleeve. We got polos. Here's I don't even know what this name is, but I think it's another woman's shirt.
Tracy wants to know while you're showing those, if as you grow, you'll be able to do pre-owned on a larger scale.
Right. And then like this is a St. John's. And I mean this is the printed thing. So you can see there's not even any cracking or anything.
Right.
So and I mean we got tons of it.
Even that one you have the Sharpie mark, you can go to Gabriel's or Gabriel Brothers, Gabe's, whatever they call it in your area, and they have brand new stuff like that on their racks. You know what I mean?
Exactly
so like I don't even think that's even that big of a deal, because any discount clothing place that sells brand new clothing is going to have some kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, either that or they cut the tag. They'll cut it in half.
Right. And these aren't bins clothes. Just so people know, we do have a spot here in town where basically we get it by the bag full for $7 a bag, whatever we put in there, whether it's like jeans, shirts, sweaters, hoodies, it doesn't matter. It's just $7 a bag. So this piece and a long sleeve hoodie like I'm wearing will cost me the same price. And that way I'm able to pass that savings on to other people, because it's going to cost me the same to print on it, whether it's a sweater or a t-shirt, you know?
Yeah.
So I just think we can go with a lot of different various styles at a budget price, if you don't mind pre-owned. And like I say, we're going to go, and it'd be grade A clothing, but I'd classify as grade A clothing. It's not going to be something where you can get it and it's going to have snags, or they're, you know, the tags inside are faded out and you can't see them, anything like that. They got to look like new, like they haven't been worn. But if you want brand new too, then
Sorry about that.
we can do that. It's just going to cost more because we have to cover the cost of that piece. So that's why I
definitely think that the pre-owned is, I mean, the quality that you just showed there is insane. And just thinking that, like, originally I thought you were getting them from the bins, which there's nothing wrong with stuff from the bins as long as you take them home and wash them properly. But being that you're getting them from like a more, I don't want to say more legitimate, because I don't view the bins as illegitimate, but you know, I would say it's probably a cleaner place, because I know after I'm done digging in the bins, especially Saturday, I brought my gloves, I pull my hands out, they look like, you know, I've been shoveling coal all day, you know?
You know, I have when we went on our workcation, I wore my Fila retro style jacket, and it's got one blue sleeve and one white sleeve. And just digging through the bins, I didn't even think about it, but my sleeve up to here, I had to actually come home and put like goop and rub it in and everything to get just the dirt that it picked up just from shuffling through. So I imagine them clothes that are getting tossed around and tumbled through all that stuff, you know. I mean, I have bins clothes. I wear bins clothes, but I wash them very thoroughly first. Yeah,
for sure.
But this place, it's just a little place here in town, and they just get a bunch of, like I say, I don't know where to get them from. I ain't even gonna lie. I just know, I mean, every once in a while there'll be a piece of clothing in there that's like garbage, and then we use it for a cleaning rag. But most of it is like brand new stuff. It just doesn't have tags.
Yeah.
For all I know, it is, and it was pulled. Awesome. It's old stock or something that they're liquidating here. You know, I have no idea, because we have gotten some stuff that still has tags on it. It's just far and in between. Yeah. Usually the tags are off of it.
That's awesome. I really like the Facebook Marketplace call that Nate mentioned for your business, Tommy. Because personally, like knowing that you did that, like I have a good friend whose birthday's early November. I've already hit up Tommy for a custom mug for him. And honestly, I'll probably hit you up for Christmas presents this year too, man, because I'm one of those people, like, I like giving thoughtful gifts. And there's a lot of people out there that really like giving something that's like personal that people are going to like cherish for a long time. So I think Q4 is the perfect time, especially since you're not the type of business where, because I know a lot of people that do customs, you have to get either quantity or you pay out the rear end for it. So being that you can offer the stuff at a reasonable rate.
Right.
You know what, Destiny, I'll have to let you know. If you ask him what hand my friend writes with, I'll have to let you know. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think that you can offer like one-off gifts like that at an affordable rate. I really think like that's going to be something like sharing out on social media. Instagram, you have like over 3,000 followers on there. Instagram's great for custom stuff. I know for a fact my wife will order all kinds of stuff like through Etsy and other places that she finds on Instagram of like custom Disney stuff that she wants for herself. And I think it's cool because we've even come to you guys for our custom Disney shirts rather than her getting them through Etsy like she normally does. And I'm sure that you guys are going to be considerably cheaper.
Oh yeah. That's our whole goal.
That's a great business.
The reason Destiny's asking what hand he writes with, because this is how much thought she puts into it. Like she asked me, how do you hold your mug? Because what part do you want facing out primarily? What part do you want to look at? Where if I hold it with my right hand versus my left hand. That's how much thought she puts into when she's doing it.
That's awesome. I honestly, like, I've been so impressed with Destiny. Like, I really have. She's really taken the bull by the horns here, and just as a friend, I'm proud of her seeing what she's doing. But as a consumer, like, I'm just like blown away with the level of customer service and care that she's put into, just serving. Sure things are perfect.
We finally found that she went through a lot of phases. I mean, she went through phases where we went about 45 miles away and picked up a bunch of styrofoam because she was going to do like concrete coated custom sign type things. And then there was a few other things, and she wanted to do it, and then we went and we kind of like got the stuff, and it never really went anywhere. And I'm real happy to see that with this, she's really indulging in it. She's really excited about it. She's sticking through it, especially to see her stick through it with as frustrating as the startup has been, trying to figure out everything. So it's good to see.
And she's talented for it too. You know what I mean? Just the way she took my friend's hand-drawn logo and brought it to life, like that's a talent right there.
Yeah, she's good at that stuff. She's creative. And that's why I think it's a perfect fit for her.
100%.
Last night after we figured out these cups, she was like so tired she could hardly keep her eyes open, but yet she was so excited we finally figured it out. She wanted to like stay awake and keep going, and you gotta see what you're doing before you can do it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like like I was saying earlier, you know what I mean? Like once you find some things that gets your other half or your other your kids excited and stuff like that, it's a great experience. And I really think the sky's the limit, and just come up with some great designs that are fresh and keep your prices down. And like I said, the sky's the limit, man. I mean, nowadays with the internet being the go-to platform to buy everything, from merch to toilet paper. I mean, everything's bought now. You know what I mean? So, you go on Instagram, just share and put it out there, and go on Facebook Marketplace and join all your local things, and even some of the bigger areas like in your city or other cities actually, and just put it out there on the marketplace, and come up with like 5 or 6 like designs for like the holidays or whatever, from like a woman's perspective type shirt, or like kids, and then an adult male or whatever, and just that'd be like a default, or they can have like a custom, or they send you design and you could charge a little bit more for that probably, because it takes more time, you know what I mean, to do. And you could really have something huge. I mean, you have it all set up, you have all the pieces, you're doing the right things with testing it all and making sure your stuff's going to be correct. So once you 100% say, okay, like all this is good, like 100%, like I feel 100% confident this is going to be as perfect as I could see it could be, because nothing's going to be 100% perfect. You know what I mean? There's probably times that something might not come out right and you got to redo it, or the rare chance something weird happens. If you really feel really comfortable about it, man, let it go, and let Destiny be as creative as I'm sure she is, and the kids do some stuff, and you'll be surprised how fast things I bet will jump for you. And you have my support, and I know you have Anthony's support, so I'll definitely be reaching out and do some different things. I mean, I've always wanted to get shirts done and stuff, and hats, and some stuff for just my personal use. So it'd be just cool to I mean, instead, like you said, doing Teespring and stuff, I can.
And that's why, that was one of the reasons, when we first started buying the stuff to do like shirts and the hats, we didn't really buy the equipment we didn't have making money in mind. It was like, okay, me, I want to sport, I want to brand myself, so I'm like, man, if I get me a couple of t-shirts and I make a couple of hoodies and maybe throw it on a light jacket, and then I need a black hat, I have a hat thing, so I need a black hat, a white hat, a red hat, to match all my different clothing. And I'm like, by the time I do all that, and then I talked to a guy about doing vinyl on my truck, the exact same thing that I did, and he wanted $250 just for that. And then I'm figuring another few $100 in just some gear. I'm like, damn, I can buy this crap and I can do it myself.
Right.
And then I'm like, because it's just it's not affordable really, when you look at it. I mean, if you're getting one shirt or something like that, yeah, okay, you can go spend $20-$25 on a shirt, but then you start looking at hoodies that they want $40 for.
Right.
And it's like that adds up real quick, and it's like I can't afford to put all that money out there just on stuff like that. I'd rather be able to buy the equipment and make as much of it as I want for myself. And then Destiny's got her own little theme going on that she wanted stuff. So then we start thinking about, we can get this and we can offer people deals on it.
Right.
And then, we actually just with a little bit of YouTube talking really sparked some interest. And then we decided, well, let's take this to a different level from a hobby and try to turn it into a business.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, sky's the limit, man. That's exactly what you want to hear and what you want to, have an opportunity for when you start a business. You want to know that, hey, this can go to the moon if we can do this right, or if we can come up with some great designs and great products and stuff, and ship it out quick. And if she's excited as you're making it sound, I mean, you're golden in your designs and stuff, I'm sure. So and
we really like to be able to offer, we can do pre-designs. I mean, that's not an issue. We got tons of designs and templates and whatever, but what we really like is being able to do the custom. You want a family picture put on a coffee cup or on a plate or whatever, to be able to do that for people, because that's where it really gets expensive.
Right.
When you want, you'll see those cups and they have the picture, the portraits or whatever on it, and that's where they're really taxing you on it. And really, there's not really any cost difference between doing a full portrait wrap on this and doing this. But they'll charge so much more for it.
Yeah, more ink portraits, but other than that, like, what else would it really
there is more ink, but if you're buying ink from the right supplier and you have the right ink setup, I mean, you're talking literally fractions of cents, So these big companies that are doing it and charging an extra $15 on a mug because you're doing a full wrap versus just a 1 or 2-sided mug, they're buying the ink in the right quantities from the right place and have the right setups. So it's if I can save money on the ink, these big companies buying in massive bulk can save even more.
Oh yeah, I mean they're probably buying it by the truckload,
Right?
like drums of it and vinyl by the pallet, and it's crazy how we always say you got to go out and get the items, or go out and hit the yard sales and do things to get the opportunity.
You would let people send you stuff.
I just seen that BK was asking. Yeah, if you have something that you want something put on, whether it's a hard surface or it's a favorite shirt or something or hat you have that you want something added to, yeah, most definitely. That is another thing that we can offer too. We were on a live the other night, and Justin Perlette asked, he's like, man, if I had a shirt, I really like this shirt and I didn't want to give it up, but it like had a stain here. Could you cover it with something? Yeah, we can do that.
I was just thinking about that. I just didn't get a chance to say it about we all find great deals on stuff, or we might find, like how you had that one Nike shirt, like a dry fit or whatever,
Right.
Like would you like if I could send you some stuff, would you do that or whatever? And yeah, that'd be cool. I'd send you some items or whatever to print on or whatever, and just tell me what it would cost per item or whatever. This way, if I find a great deal, I mean, that saves me money, and you're still making money or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we can definitely work with stuff, especially like you guys that got the expensive new shirts, and it's real hard to find the 4 and 5 X's. So like, I mean, if you got some blank ones laying around or something, you wanna shoot them, I can definitely hook you up on a good price break, because I can't find them. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing like about me. Like, I'm in the bigger sizes, like you were just saying, and my stuff. And this is why I like shopping in stores. My stuff, depending on the brand, it'll be like a little bit too short, because of just how it's cut. And some will be perfect. And then, I go the other size, it'll still fit or whatever, but it'll just, be a little longer or whatever. Like because of how the styles are now versus how they were before. I'm a bigger guy, I'm tall, so some stuff I'll have, and it'll just, I like a little bit longer in the back or whatever. And so this way, if I find some stuff that that I try on, or know that I fit, or a certain brand of shirt, I could send them out to you, and I know they'll 100% be exactly what I like, or how I like them.
Yeah, for sure. And D flipping particles said, what kind of ink you need? I have an ink guy. It really depends on the substrate we're putting it on. We're currently running 3 different inks depending on what we're doing. So I don't know. I'll get in touch with you. Maybe you can.
It's just a 2-foot.
I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
Okay. So, question for you, Tommy, in regards to printing. and people sending you stuff. Like, for example, sometimes I have a jersey that goes out of date because the player leaves the team. But then within the next season or 2 seasons, another player comes and gets the same number. Now, most of those jerseys have kind of what's known as like a sewn-on nameplate that you can actually unthread, take that off, and then print over that nameplate. Now, would you? I don't even know if you'd be able to. I mean, I'm sure you'd probably do it like as a one-off for a friend, but I don't even know if that'd be something that you could do legally, because it's just printing a new name on the back of a jersey.
Yeah, I don't know the legality of it. I know as far as like removing the sewn on nameplate, like if you wanted that done, I'd be more than happy to do it for you, but you would have to remove the nameplate.
I've done that before. I've actually, when I was wrestling,
I wouldn't want to risk damaging the shirt.
Yeah, for sure. When I was wrestling, we had this thing, Pittsburgh versus Cleveland, and me and my tag team partner, we went and got Steeler jerseys of old players, and we just unstitched the nameplate on the back, and then we went and had new names stitched on the back, like a Hanson, which was our wrestling name, and they charged us $30 just to put a name on the back of a shirt, which like probably took them 2 minutes to do.
Yeah,
so
I just see that's what I'm saying, and if you had to put on, I imagine it was just a vinyl press. I mean, there's not that much in material there costs. So I mean, we definitely want to be able to do things. That's what I'm saying. It's real expensive when you go places to do it. We want to make it affordable. There's a lot of people that say, oh man, I'd love to have a cup, or I'd love to get a couple hats, but I just can't afford it. Well, our goal is to make it affordable.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one of the reasons, especially with clothing, why we're going with the pre-owned. But in reality, this cup right here, it's a flawless cup, but it's a pre-owned cup. I paid $0.25 for it.
Yeah.
And they're
the nice thing is, I will just, you can go to the bins and you can get a nice mug like that for 15 cents.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just picked up, I don't know if Destiny is on. If you hear me, honey, bring me one of those other ones down. I just picked up 30 cups from Culver's. They changed their style of coffee cup. And I just got a really good deal on these Culver's coffee cups. They're the durable restaurant quality grade, heavy duty, coffee cups. And we paid, I think it came down 30 cups. We paid $10. So what is that? Like 30 cents a piece or something like that. And those are going to be a lot of the ones we hand out. Oh, you didn't bring me my printed one?
No. Do you need that one?
But I was just going to show what it looks like. But just a regular standard coffee cup. And they're pre-owned. They're owned by Culver's. But, if you sanitize them, they're Cisco ware, China. So it's a heavy duty cup. And buying them like that versus going and buying them retail. Yeah, here. Okay, so this was the blank. And then she made me another one.
That's awesome.
And if this was sitting on a store shelf, you would not be able to tell it wasn't brand new. And that's where we can save money by saving cost on material. Fish and Pickett says, I take white duct tape and cover the old name and handwritten name. Huh?
I was just going to say, I'd be curious to know if there's anybody else in the chat as majority of us are like full-time resellers, just seeing what Tommy's doing and hearing about these other avenues, has anybody at least considered branching out into other avenues of business in addition to the full-time reselling?
Yeah, because I know there's people that resell, but then they
Because
also have like real estate going on, or they have another side business besides reselling, and I see that quite a bit. Mhm.
Tiffany's asking, will shirts and mugs be pre-owned?
That's totally up to the buyer. I'm not going to sell you something as like a new product and it be pre-owned. We're primarily going to advertise the pre-owned. That's what we're working for, because I think that's the most cost effective for both us and the consumer. But if you're one of them people that are like, nope, I want a new one, that's not a problem either. We can get brand new products. So I mean, but with it being brand new, that's a cost that we gotta to up as far as cost to us, so we have to pass that cost on to the consumer. But we new and pre-owned, but we're trying to gear towards making it budget friendly.
So Scott makes a full-time living making items and selling them on Amazon. That's awesome. And that's the thing. You can still do the resell stuff and incorporate stuff like Scott does. I know DC Sales does that. You can go right to her eBay page, and you can actually custom order license plates and other stuff right there on her page. And I'm sure eventually Tommy will probably add that to his various platforms that he's working on as well. Texas Val, they own a full AC and heating business in addition to, what they do as far as reselling. I think that's really cool. Dino Mac has a custom apparel business, team apparel business. That's really cool. So I mean, I'm really interested in.
I was going to say, Dino Mac reached out to me, sent me an email. He possibly is considering us for fulfilling some of his orders as well. But he's straight out to the retail market. So he'd be a great customer, but I really want to make sure my quality's right on par before we'd get involved with that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Especially if it was one of those.
That's cool. T Slip says his wife does online makeup. Matt's wife sells cinnamon rolls on the side.
Hey, I'll trade
Might
some
have to order
cinnamon
some of
rolls
them.
for some merch. I love cinnamon rolls.
I do too.
I indulge in occasional cinnamon roll.
But yeah, I think yeah, all three of us. I think there's a world of opportunities out there, and I think that's really something that, like, obviously this show's going to stick to our roots: eBay, Amazon, Mercari, all of the resale platforms. That's basically pretty much the heartbeat of the people that are going to be on this panel. But we also realize that there's other avenues, and we want to kind of just explore what else is out there. What other opportunities could we maybe be missing out on that could kind of even go hand in hand with what we do? And that's the nice thing, because you see people like Ryan and Pam Thrift Mine. They do really well on eBay in addition to having good jobs. Nate does really well on eBay and Amazon in addition to having a good job. Matt, part-time picker on eBay in addition to having a good job. You know what I mean? So it's possible to do reselling at a high level and have some other stream of income at the same time. And I think that's something that at least I personally want to like kind of dive into and see how I can diversify things, because I don't have to worry about money ever again.
Right. You know, and I'm very interested because I wouldn't mind starting up a whole nother company in business and actually get it up and going and let somebody else run it, because ultimately, you know, my passion is reselling and I love it. And the reason I love it is it's not the listing, it's not the shipping, it's the thrill of the hunt. That's primarily what I want to get to, a point to where that's what I'm doing, because that's what I like to do. But I also want to have revenue streams where other people are actually making it for me, you know, and I don't really have to do anything. So if there's other things out there that I can get going and get started and basically have like a boss, a manager, a operations manager, whatever it is, that can run the day-to-day operations, and I can basically just check in, how are things going, and get deposits into an account. That's ultimately what I want to do in my latter years, you know, because I've been pretty much a cash person most of my life, so I'm not going to have a big Social Security payoff at retirement age, so I have to diversify my funds to carry me through.
It's funny that you just said that, because I just looked at my 401k report yesterday.
Yeah, I don't even have one. I'm in the same boat as Tommy.
I just
whatever I
basically
make
started doing mine.
when I
Yeah, my work, they match up to 5%,
I would
so
like to,
I had to jump into that. So I just started doing that recently.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's trying to put a nest egg away
I would
from
like
the
to have
future.
the work. Yeah, I don't blame you there. I would like to. My goal right now is to have the work that I'm putting in now and the strategies I'm putting in place now pay for my like older years.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
Bishop just came up with a good idea. Sorry, Tommy. Go ahead, man.
well, I was just going to say, you know, to be able to establish some business or investments that, you know, I figure I'm falling apart. I probably got a good 10, 15 years, probably about 15 years, I mean, before I'm going to be like, dude, I'm just too tired to do this anymore. You know, by then I should have a few things established, or my hopes is to have a few things established that our children can take over and run and oversee, you know. But I don't want them to have to start from the ground up. I would like some established things already. And that's my whole goal, is within the next 15 years have a few different operations going on.
Yeah, and Eric Bischoff has a good point for a future show, basically about the topic being investing for retirement, which is something that I don't think most. I've never heard anybody really talk about it in the resale community outside of like what your long-term goal is, you know what I mean, as far as, you know, traveling, doing RA, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, has anybody really thought of your twilight years? That, especially if you're not there yet, you know what I mean? Like Nate and I, we're still kind of young. You know, Tommy, you're not quite the retirement age. You know what I mean? You're still reasonably young in regards to that, but it's something to think about. You know what I mean? Especially when you're basically living based on your production.
Right.
So that could be a good episode for us to put out maybe later this week or something.
Yeah, because face it, I mean, like for myself, like I'm not gonna be able to work in a warehouse, jobs, you know, type of job for, you know, till I'm 90. You know what I mean? Like that's just not gonna happen. So that's why I'm working as hard as I am and grinding as hard as I am, and in my Amazon and eBay to hopefully catch up where, you know, 55 or 65 is still, you know, I still have a chance of maybe working that far, but you know, I'm going to be well, you know, better well off, you know, financially, you know, to really either. I'm really hoping at that point, you know, I have this thing like full blown, like like how Tommy says, like basically kind of automated for, to some degree. I'm still hunting and stuff like that, but the wholesale side is really going to be, be on a lot bigger piece for me, for example, where I'm just calling in and saying, hey, I need this much of a product, it goes to Amazon, or I keep it, wherever and do whatever, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, like it's, I got 3 kids. They all, my plan's to pay through them all the way through college, and, yeah, that's not cheap. It gets expensive and more expensive every year. And, you have to prepare for the future. And for everybody that's, doesn't do any type of investments in 401k, it is a tax write-off too, from what I understand. So, good way to put some money away and, pay less in taxes. So,
I like what Commonwealth Picker says. I round
Texas,
up every
Phil, I'd love
eBay
to.
and shipping transaction into account, little tiny bits at a time, but it adds up. That is one thought, a good way to put away some money without having a noticeable difference in your pocket.
yeah, there's an app, I think it's like Acorn or something like that, where anytime you make a purchase, it'll round up and then it'll invest it in, I guess, in some type of, investments or something like that. Almost like a 401k type situation. And, it's just bits and pieces of what you spend. Yeah. And, like he said, a little bit, you might not think it's a lot, but, potentially up to $1.99 could possibly get invested every time you buy, something at a store or whatever. For me, that could be pretty expensive after, a month of RA hitting the main stores as I do and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, think about it, if I do 100 transactions a month, that's $100 that, or possibly up to $100 that, I have stashed away that, maybe I wouldn't even notice or whatever, so that's actually something that maybe I should look into too.
Yeah. See, I agree with Lisa C here. She says, in my opinion, cannot count on Amazon for an income stream for the rest of your life. They could take away third parties selling it anytime they want, which is very true. Also, something could happen beyond your control and you could lose your account too. And that's why I'm all about creating a different income streams, because like if something would happen to my eBay account right now, it would hurt. I'd be in trouble. But if I have eBay and I have Amazon and we have the shirt thing and I invest in maybe something else over here, if you lose one, you're going to feel it, but it's not going to hurt nowhere near as bad as if you have all your eggs in one basket.
For sure. And that's something I really want to get into too. And I would love to actually have Texas Val on sometime if she'd want to come on. She has the AC heating company. And she's wanting to get into a storage company too. So like that would be really cool to talk about, because like storage is something I really want to get into personally. The issue is like being able to move it all on my own. So like I'm waiting until I scale to the point where I'd be able to, either pay somebody to do it, or Nate and I have even talked about, pitching in and doing storage together, since we, live reasonably close to each other. We're still probably about an hour's drive from each other. We're on opposite sides of Pittsburgh, but it's a solution, I think.
The one
Plus, he
thing,
has access to warehouse space too, so that would
the warehouse space, and that it's all wide open. So if I got it set up the way I want, we can actually have like a weekend type of thrifting day or whatever, where people can come in and buy stuff for, whatever we set it at or whatever, if we have enough inventory, like almost like a garage sale, indoor garage sale, situation. And it's in a business area, which
I
gets
don't
a
know
lot
if you saw
of
Suburban Beard.
Who, me?
I don't know if you saw Suburban Beard's video. He did What the Hell's warehouse, where they had people come in for like a big auction on October 5th. Like that would even be something cool that we could potentially do down the road.
Right, for sure. I mean, if you have the space and the opportunity, there's all types of stuff that you can do. You know what I mean? And my dad has all that open
Yeah.
space, so I would love to really, use it and and even help him out. I wouldn't mind giving him a few bucks just to, help him because he's getting old. He needs some money too. I told him, I said, I'll give you some money to let me use space. So we just have to work out a situation, basically a time and day where he's not, fully using it or whatever. Like on a weekend, he's off, so that'd be perfect for what I want to do, and I'm off on the weekends too. So
Yeah, I think it would work out good because, I think we both have some money that we can invest. I have a van, and you have a strong back, so we could make this work.
Well, not only that, my dad has a box truck with a lift gate.
Oh, there you go. That's what I would like to get.
I can haul 12 pallets, either 10 or 12 pallets in this truck. So, and it's a non-CDL.
That's
so
awesome.
If anybody, I don't know how to drive stick, but
Nice.
if you did, you could possibly.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'd have to have an Uber.
It'd be worth learning.
Yep, I was saying now you guys got to hire a driver.
I know some drivers, so that's not a problem. Who wouldn't want to?
Greg, you want to come be Uber box truck?
Right. That's what I was getting at with the Uber. I was figuring he would do it, right? We'll fly him out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You guys got liquidation places around you, like where you can buy pallets, like without, like where you'd be able to go pick them up.
There's a spot in Ohio. I mean, it's a little bit of a drive. Yeah, there's a little bit of a drive, but it's worth it. It would be worth it if like I was telling people, like there's a bunch of people in Pennsylvania, and then there's a few in Ohio that's not too far, and there's bulk deals and stuff like that online, and even in Ohio. And I was telling people that I wouldn't mind getting a bunch of people together to throw in money or whatever the case may be, and this way we would, even if each of us bought a pallet, we would save on the shipping if I picked up 12 pallets, or if we bought a truck and had it shipped to my dad's warehouse or whatever. It would just be how's everyone going to take their stuff, or are we going to just have a mega sale at my dad's warehouse? You know what I mean? So it would be awesome YouTube footage, just because of the whole process, the people coming to the sale, and so on and so forth, and it would get us all together, and we'd all be able to make money. That's stuff that I would love to do, and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there's opportunities. It's just basically everyone coming together, or even just me and Anthony did something where we got pallets cheap enough, or a storage lockers cheap enough, and if we hit a home run, we hit a home run. If we break even, we break even. But it's low cost versus what a normal person would have to put out, financially. He has a van, I have a truck. Trucks cost gas, vans cost gas, warehouse costs a little bit of money, but it's nowhere near what renting a storage unit would cost, or whatever, to use my dad's place or whatever. He would just be looking for a few bucks, just to give him a few bucks. That's what all we have talked about. So I mean, just opportunities that we just have to just find, and if it's worthwhile, that's all.
How much space do you have access to, like that you would be able to utilize?
His warehouse is 15,000 square foot, and I probably have, I would say 7,000 or 8,000 I can have up to.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean, it's a considerable amount of space, because he had 3 tenants in there renting total, plus himself, like sections, like basically like 4,000 or 5,000 square foot. Now he has one that has just a 5,000, and then he has the extra space, and one side of it is it could be a retail you know, a storefront basically, and then the back is a warehouse type situation. So, you know, that's where I like what I was thinking about doing one day, hopefully, would be like my own little type, you know, like maybe a mini thrift or like just a mini store. And then I also do shipping for people. And then, you know, where I would save money, like with using pirate ship, you know, I'd make money just on that part of it. And then, you know, the packing side of it. And because, I mean, if everyone's, I'm sure there's been people in the chat, and, you know, I know when I first started out, like my first couple shipments, I went down to the post office and basically bought a box from them, had them ship it. And just the you know, the label itself by itself is like a couple, you know, $2-3 more than what we print them out for at home. So, you know,
Right.
you know, these people don't have boxes, and you know, you can get fancy on designs and stuff like that, or gift wrap them or whatever the case is, and people would, I think, would pay a little bit of a, not a super premium, but you know, it would be a form of income, like, you know, like you're talking about, you know, it'd be a revenue stream, and then it would be storage for my stuff, and also, you know, I'd get foot traffic of people trying to sell stuff, people trying to
Right.
buy stuff, and that's the biggest thing, getting the opportunity to buying stuff at a great deal. I mean, there's not really any big pawn shops around our place except for the big chains. There's one big chain that is in Bell Vernon, which is like you know, 5-10 minutes away from me, but they don't pay what they should, and you know, they're really picky on what they buy. I mean, which is a good thing, but you know, there's opportunity that they're missing. You know, so I would love to set up just it's a small
We
little
should-
storefront and set something up, man. That'd be great.
We should talk
Yeah.
more about that, Nate, because I have access to 501c3 nonprofits just through like my ministry and everything. So like basically, if you donate stuff to like Goodwill or any like thrift, for the most part, most of them have like tax write-offs they give you, and I have access to all of that kind of stuff through, you know, the nonprofit stuff that I've worked with. So
Oh, okay.
you know, we'd be able to even start getting donations and stuff. And I know a lot of people would rather give like a mom and pop's type store than, you know, like a Goodwill or whatever. You know,
Like right
especially if
next to
we
my
like do some good with it.
right next to my dad's business is a Saint de Paul, Saint Vincent de Paul, like right next door.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay.
people donate there or whatever, and so I don't know if on that I would get many donations, or maybe I wouldn't even do that because I wouldn't want to mess with their business because they're set up or whatever. But you
Gotcha.
know, their foot traffic
Gotcha.
is what is very appealing to me, because there's people running in there, you know, all day. You know, they're not open long; they're open 9 to 4 or something like that. But you know, that foot traffic's there.
The good thing that I could think that could come from having a St. Vinny's right next door, you know, is say this guy is cleaning out his house, his basement, his garage, and he's got a nice stereo unit that he's going to take to St. Vinny's. He might stop by you first and say, "Hey, give me a couple bucks for this." You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there was even talk
Absolutely.
that St. Vincent de Paul next door was actually might even purchase my dad's building when he's ready to retire. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen for my you know, want to use it, but for him financially, I mean, I would understand, because that's like his like retirement nest egg, because it is such a big building and it's in a commercial zone. And you know, I always tell him, like, you know, you can get that lump sum, or you can live off that, you know, your whole life basically, and pass it along to me and to your grandkids and stuff. So I would love to have that building, man. If I had that building and it's a little bit of cash flow, like more than what I have, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. You know, it has a dock and everything. So I
Nice.
mean,
Yeah.
it's set up to go. I mean, for what everything I would want to do, I could buy. If you guys ever watch Resell Rabbit, how he buys truckloads of
Yeah.
liquidation, I could picture myself doing that. Like, easily. You know what I mean? Like if I had a little bit of backing or something, or my money, from doing Amazon and stuff would rise, and stuff like that. That is always an opportunity that I'm looking to get into. So
Yeah, Resale Rabbit, he's only about a hour and 20 minutes from me.
he's one of the
And
first guys I stay watching.
it's not like you don't already know how to work in a warehouse either. And that's what you do for a living.
Yeah, I mean, I know use all the equipment to unload trucks and deal with the whole situation and everything. I mean, I've basically, if I haven't been reselling, I've been doing warehouse stuff. So, basically my whole life sort of. Like I haven't really did it on the eBay side, but Facebook Marketplace and finding deals and stuff like that. I've done that all my life. So, it's awesome to see some of the things that them doing. Like you want to find or hope for, like we're talking about your printing business. You want to be able to see like the bigger picture of what it could be, what it can grow into, because if not, then you're kind of you're stuck in you're stuck where you're at. You never want to have that type of feeling in a business that you're doing. You know what I mean? You want to be able to eventually grow and get bigger, hopefully. Or I mean, some people, they just has a side hustle and that's all they want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, there's always the bigger picture. I hope to one day, hand my son the keys to a building and be like, here, take this over. I'll be down Florida. Let me know if you need me. You know what I mean?
Deposit my money.
Right. I mean, I like that. That's a dream of mine for my kids, just to hand the warehouse keys over and be like, here's a business, and hopefully during this whole process, as my kids get older, they want to be involved, like, how your kids are, Tommy, and stuff like that. And I would do that in a heartbeat, hopefully, with everything I have going on and everything else, that everything keeps growing and that can be a thing one day. So.
And the nice thing is you can kind of do that with, eBay, Amazon, that kind of stuff. Once you get it built to a point where it's just like flowing and, especially if you get to the point where you have some like employees and stuff like that, you can kind of just train your kids up to kind of step in and just kind of do what you do, especially since they're raised their whole life basically for a father and, a reseller, like learning the hustler mentality and what to find. Like dude, your kid is so young and he's already trying to scan stuff.
Right.
Like, I was impressed with that.
Yeah, he was like, Daddy, scan this. And I'm like, all right, hold on 1 second, because I was scanning something else. I scanned it and I was like, nah, it ain't good, son. He puts it back on the shelf and he'll look for something else. And I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see him excited and involved. I don't want my kids to feel like I'm just doing this and I'm not caring what they're doing, or I'm not paying attention to them. I want them involved and I want them to learn something, because that's what happened with me when I was young. You know what I mean? My dad started his business when I was 5. You know what I mean? He got a heck of an opportunity from a guy he used to work for who gave him a huge loan, and and there he went and did his own business and paid off the guy in full, and because the guy had tons of money and was living down in Florida, and knew my dad had great business knowledge and took a chance and gave him that loan, and he never looked back. So I'm just hoping to possibly to get my kids involved, and instead of having to hire help, I can pay them, and then they have money set aside for either school or a car or whatever they want to have, so. But I always remember going with my dad as young and learning just how business is, how people work, how you treat people, how you talk, the percentages and what things cost and your overhead and all that type of stuff. Like I learned that at a young age, and I think that's what developed me to love reselling as much as I do. I love the business. I love the transactions. I love the deals. I love finding stuff and making money on it. I mean, it's a great, to me, it's like, it's an adrenaline rush. You know what I mean? Like, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what
Definitely.
Neville said, like that would
Neville
be
said
great.
you should
To
set
do
up.
like a flip market. Yeah, that would be great. Like a weekly thing, I could easily do that. You know what I mean? Like and buy the Amazon inventory. You know, maybe take out some of the pieces that I want to keep for eBay that are the bigger ticket items that are in great condition, and you know, set it up because you're buying these items at such a low cost, or you know, sometimes pennies to a few bucks, and you know, I got $10 for something I spent
Yeah.
$1 on. I'll do that every day of the week.
Right. Like what Dad's Vintage Garage says here. Love it when you're
If my
scanning.
body
Kids ask loudly, "Daddy, are you going to sell that on eBay?" My son does that to me all the time. He'll see something, he'll get excited at a rummage sale or a flea market. He's like, "Dad, we can make money on this," and I'm like, "Well, no, I'm not going to get a deal on it."
Yeah, that's what my kids do. They'll see something and they say, "Dad, are you going to sell this?" Because he'll either want it or then it's like it's a discussion with the wife of do we really want to keep this for him, or do we want to just resell it? Most of the time it goes to the kids.
This is what I would do if my body would allow me. I would do like a 1-800-GOT-JUNK type business where basically I would just go. I would charge people to take their stuff, sort through it, take the stuff I can sell, and take the rest to the dump. Like I would 100% do that if I could. I just wouldn't be able to. I would do that, and I would do storage like a big level.
We have a guy here that has a thrift store up the road, and 90% of his store is from that situation. He has a bunch of contracts with like rental style real estate companies and stuff that manage apartment buildings, and he does all their eviction cleanouts. So he gets like house loads of stuff, and he grabs what's good, puts it in his store, and runs the rest to the dump.
Yep. That's a great business plan too, because I mean you're basically getting paid to make money.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, they're paying you to come
I've
get
helped
this
out with
inventory.
some. I've helped out with some cleanouts and done pretty well off of them. Typically, they were for friends, so I didn't like charge any money up front. I just got to keep certain items, but that was like without like large furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah, with that situation, like there's a few in my area, but for example, like if I went and did that, I would definitely need help. I mean, it's a time. It could be very time consuming, and there's probably in my area there would probably be a lot more junk versus treasures. I mean, every area is different. Like there's a guy.
Oh yeah,
like Craigslist Hunter. He has a guy that brings him gems of stuff all the time because he works. I think he works either for like a company like that, or he actually does like he picks up garbage or whatever, and he'll find stuff in the trash before he throws it away, basically. And I mean, he's out in Chicago, so there's maybe a lot more money that people are actually throwing away versus like in my area. Like I know my garage sales. I mean, it's tough and stingy, so I don't know how much stuff people would really be tossing out so free willingly. You know what I mean?
Right. Ultimately, I'd love to have a setup like Pete has, Craigslist Hunter. I've been in his store. I don't need nothing near that size, but I would love to have a spot where people can come in and try to sell me inventory.
For sure. I mean, that's like I was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? Just doing like a little setup like that, just to basically allow people to come in, check out some of my really good stuff that I hope not to ship, that maybe I find that are bigger, and then or my stuff that I collect I can have hang up or whatever, and then basically it's more of the buying aspect, because I'm sure he gets tons of great deals, coming through the door that normally, us, we wouldn't be able to get. People just need quick money for whatever reason to, other people finding stuff maybe at the bins and just want to make a quick buck. or whatever, you know.
Tiffany says, don't sell liquidation on Amazon. You'll get yourself in a world of trouble. Why? I mean, if you're selling, say it's new product liquidation, why would?
I'm guessing
It's all about the receipts.
I'm guessing most.
With them, you have to have
the stream of
either an invoice or a receipt, like basically validating that the item is legit, or you know, whatever the case is. Where when you're buying pallets or liquidation, some of them come manifested, some not. But it would have. I think the only way you can actually buy liquidation and sell on Amazon if it's through a liquidation company that Amazon approves, which I'm not sure who does that or who is on that list. But you'd really have to dig and find that information to do that. Yeah, I think that's the only way that you could sell liquidation through Amazon like that would be through their list.
The only way I would do. I would probably do most liquidation like that. I would try to get hooked up with a good local auction, do a lot that way. Then I'd probably do some flea marketing with it, and I'd probably put whatever's like really good on eBay. But
yeah,
I think with liquidation, you really have to like, you know, get in a couple different avenues. There's a lot of stuff you'll get in there that really won't be quick moving on eBay.
Yeah, like you know the Resale Rabbit, he does dollar days where he just opens up his warehouse and everything's for $1. You know, he's getting it for like 50 cents or 10 cents a piece or something crazy. He just wants it out and make his quick little money and get it out of there for more room. And you know, that's why for me, if I would do the liquidation side, it would be eBay. It would be the customer traffic for like a Saturday or Sunday, like, you know, indoor garage sale or whatever. But yeah, it would never be. Amazon was never in the plans of that type of situation with me.
Yeah, with like Resale Rabbit's dollar days sales, you know, because he goes through, he cherry picks, he's already made his money back. So now, you know, if this stuff's not worth listing and for time or whatever,
Right.
you know, to just get that little extra capital back and turn it around again.
Right, because a lot of stuff that he had in this dollar day, the video I watched a couple weeks ago, it was stuff from store closeouts that he was buying for 95% off or whatever. So he's paying literally pennies on a dollar what the item was really worth. So, you know,
right.
he just wants his money back. Like you said, he's made his big money already, and he made his profit. He's just adding to his profit and clearing out junk. You know what I mean? If people eat it up, he gets a lot of foot traffic. That's what makes my building so you know, so attractive. You already have those people that like those secondary items, you know, the used items or whatever, going to the thrift store already. Now they're just going to come next door to my dad's area, you know, my warehouse, because it's literally like catty corner, like to the other building. So it's just right next door. I think that would be very successful.
Yeah, and I think that we're the show's kind of rolling right now, but I think we're going to kind of start winding down just because Dee goes live at noon, which is like 12 minutes from now. Dee's flipping particles. She just said something in the chat there. So if you're not subscribed to her, go ahead and subscribe to her so you can watch her show right after this one.
Yep.
So I guess, is there anything you guys would kind of want to say, put like a bow on the show or ribbon or whatever you call it?
No, I just like to thank everybody for coming in. As always, you know, it's a great way to start my day. So many friendly names and conversation. I love doing that. And I'd like to inspire people to hit that thumbs up for Anthony, though. If you like what we're doing here, so we know that we're going in the right direction. And we'll see you tomorrow on my channel.
Sure.
Yeah, just want to say thanks to the chat for coming.
Yeah,
and
definitely it'll be on
Anthony and Tommy for letting me on the show. It's always a pleasure to spend the morning with you guys and the people in the chat. It's a great way for me to send off the work. So
there you go. And hopefully we'll get
audio link in the chat too, Nate.
What were you saying?
I know. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'll reboot all myself. I was gonna say, can you drop your YouTube link in the chat to you?
Yeah.
Nate's a local
Yeah.
guy. He and I do some, collabs and stuff like that. So definitely go and subscribe to him, because you'll probably see my beautiful face on his channel from time to time. So I'd appreciate that. But we're also looking for people that want to come be a part of panels, that want to come talk about the kind of business they do, whether it could just be eBay, it could be Amazon, could be, any of those platforms, or, like Texas Vel says, she has an AC and heating company. They're looking into storage. We have some people that are into, pallets and, getting that kind of stuff. We, have other people that are big storage unit buyers. We have people that do online auctions. So regardless of what type of hustle you have, we would love to be able to spotlight you on the show and kind of dig into what you do, the logistics of it, how somebody, like us can get into that, because right now I'm trying to diversify a little bit by getting into Amazon, but I would like to, see what other kind of opportunities are out there for me that I can kind of sink my teeth into and, make sure that I'm covered, once I get to the point where I can't work anymore. So I appreciate everyone for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on the way out, because we like them gray. We do not like the red ones. So go ahead and knock that red right out. Hit that thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And guys, we will see you tomorrow.